Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we are here for another episode of our McLaren driver career mode for round number 9 of the season for the Dutch Grand Prix. You can see in the background skipping through quick practice and we gain a good amount of R&D points. And the Dutch Grand Prix is a track I have had to do a lot of running up for the PSGL sign up, so we should have good pace. So you can see the R&D change came in and we're just protecting some parts. We've got it. You can see we go to a bit older engines because Zandvoort is not the what do you call it, the power track. So we're just gonna take slightly more used engines before we head into qualifying for the Dutch Grand Prix. So here we are then in the session. It's nice and dry. So we're gonna load our Zandvoort setup as we're just tweaking some minor things, but we then head on to our first lap. You can see coming through the final couple of corners, it's been a decent lap, but like we said, we should have good pace. So across the line, we go fastest with a 1:10.9. So we actually decided not to do a lap because I noticed if we would have done a lap, would have definitely been very high up. So I wanted to keep it semi-realistic, so we didn't do another lap, and we finished just ahead of our teammates. So that's where you about want to be. But now we head into the race on Sunday.
Welcome along then to the North Sea coast and to the Zandvoort circuit. We're 25 miles away from Amsterdam for today's Dutch Grand Prix. It's a race the great Jim Clark won on 4 occasions, leading for an astonishing total of 370 laps. Zandvoort circuit has 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left, with plenty of steep camber and elevation changes to keep our drivers on their toes throughout the 2.6-mile lap. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Russell, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Ocon, Sainz, and McLaren, Norris, and Alex Albon, Vettel, Verstappen, they've taken a grid penalty, Mick Schumacher, and Magnussen, Fernando Alonso, Latifi, Lance Stroll, and Guan Yu Zhou. Gasly, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Yuki Tsunoda. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Natalie Pinkham, a lot of talented drivers out on the track today, but what will stand out for you?
My focus is 100% on the front of the grid. Like you said, we're seeing a lot of strong competition across those positions, so it'll be so interesting to see the fight for that front spot. Personally speaking, I'm hoping for plenty of overtakes.
So here we are then on the grid for the Dutch Grand Prix. You can see we're going to select the alternate medium to soft tire strategy, lowering the fuel down to 18.4, I think, laps. I'm going to head straight into the formation lap, starting from P8 as someone had grid penalty, not sure, but we then jump to the end of the formation lap. So you can see warming up our tires. We're doing the burnout and we spun round. Doesn't matter, but just, yeah, not ideal, I guess. So you could see I didn't know that we're gonna ghost through cars, so I tried going past them here, and then I realized, oh, we're ghosting. But can we nail the line up? We can. 1.0 meters, that's solid. And we're a bit facing to the inside. As here we go, the lights come on as we've got 5 red lights, and we are underway for the Dutch Grand Prix, and it's a very, very nice start. As you can see, we got a better start than Sainz on softs while we were on mediums. We go down the inside of Hamilton into turn 1, and we just about not get past him as he just about keeps his nose in, but now we're gonna swing round the outside of turn 4 and hopefully make a double overtake on Bottas and Ocon, and we made that stick. Brilliant move. So we've already gained 4 positions, and basically we've overtaken 4 soft tire runners. As you can see, massive moment as we hit the inside curb through Shrivelack, I think that is. But yeah, gonna try and settle into a rhythm. No, don't think we can stay with Russell. So now jump onto the end of lap number, beginning of lap number 3. We've got Leclerc and Perez going side by side, fighting it out for the lead in this race. And just look at the delta, how much time we're gaining as they're going side by side through the whole lap so far. So the gap to Russell's now only 1.5. Meanwhile, we've dropped Ocon and Hamilton behind us too. So we've got a bit of space around us. But Perez and Leclerc are still fighting as we're still gaining time. You can see gap now 1.4, 1.3, 1.2. So the gap is slowly but surely falling as they're still side by side. We're down to 1.1 seconds. Can we get DRS on the end of this lap? We sure can if they're going to go side by side through this section as Russell now tries to make a move as they lose heaps of time and are right on the back of Russell. So we just gained about 2 seconds on that last lap as Perez and Leclerc are having an insane scrap for the lead. But now that we're on the back of them, they decide to sort it out and Perez stays in the lead, not sure. But now they're gonna go 3 wide into turn 1 on lap number 4. As you can see, we've got the perfect seat to watch them as Perez loses momentum. I think he's pushed onto the curb by Russell, and we make another move stick up into the podium places now. So very lucky with the AI battling, although they shouldn't battle for a whole lap. As end of lap number 9, Russell decides to come into the pit lane. So we're now leading the Grand Prix. We then jump to the end of lap number 10. We want to box on this lap, but you can see Bottas out of this session and the safety car has been deployed. So obviously we're going to come into the pits for a free pit stop onto the soft compound. As out of the pit lane, Leclerc gets past. Will we rejoin ahead of Russell as now is alongside us? Through turn 1 we go. Can we stay ahead of Russell? We're alongside, but sadly we're just gonna miss out. But yeah, I mean, we've got the softs now. 6 more laps. Safety car in this lap. Can we nail a restart? Let's see how it goes here as tires are nicely up to temperature. As let's see when Leclerc is gonna go. We're gonna try and match the move and get George as there we go. Leclerc pulls the pin and we're underway. We've got a good gap to Perez, as you can see, looking for the inside on George Russell, and we get right past him. So nice move there from us. We couldn't get Leclerc just yet, so we're gonna skip 1 lap further. You can see trying to force Leclerc to go defensive. Well, sadly he didn't go defensive. As you can see, we're pushing him through. The grip difference is just insane. Sure, it would if it's like the same car. It's surely 2 seconds a lap, but you can see Leclerc goes in deep. I'm not sure if he locked up or whatever, but we rear-end him. Somehow we don't get damage, but we're now up into the lead of the race, so couldn't really be much better. We then jump on to the final lap, and we're gonna come home to win the Dutch Grand Prix.
And so the celebrations begin, and well earned they are indeed. It might have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level at the very simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion. McLaren have pulled it off. They've won in spectacular fashion here today. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their head when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that has allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy and stay out of trouble.
And look at that, they're making their way out onto the podium now. Great race from the McLaren team, and I'm very happy to see them there on that top step of the podium. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Natalie Pinkham, come on, who do you pick?
Today, I'm going to give it to the McLaren driver. There was a
So that was it then with this episode. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, as it will be massively appreciated. And of course, next up is gonna be Abu Dhabi, so the final race of the season before we head into season 2 in this career mode. It's been a good first season. You can see it up on screen. We should keep P4 in the constructors pretty safely. But yeah, first win and the fastest lap, so maximum points here at Zandvoort. So like I said at the start of the weekend, because I had to do league sign-ups here, we were pretty damn fast, and it paid off. So that was it for this episode. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe and turn on post notifications to not miss any further episodes. I've also got some other series coming, my team, track guides, and co-op. But from now, it's take care and goodbye.